Greetings, beloved being of light. I am Paul White Gold Eagle with PrimeDisclosure.com. We have a special TeaTime transmission for you today. This is the second we're releasing publicly. Just with a couple quick updates, I'm going to try to keep this short, under a half hour. So we'll see how it goes. These energies are very intense today. It's the day out of time. July 25th, 2022, as we navigate in between worlds, in between time and space, navigating the rainbow bridge between heaven and earth. Our sacred vessel, our Katika channel, our chakra line, our lineage being activated through the Kundalini. We have a massive heat wave today across most of the world. It's close to 100 degrees here in the Pacific Northwest. So these energies are very intense. I want to give you a quick update. We have, where are we here? Has very special tea gift from our Chinese brothers and sisters of the light. There we go. Let's see here. This is very special, I believe. This is pu'er tea. It wasn't labeled. Pu'er tea, as we talked about in our last TeaTime transmission ceremony, is pu'er is a black tea. These little, like solid black crystal. It's hard as a rock, but they disintegrate in the water. I have my sacred Condor's Gaiwan here, very special, from gold and blue dragon lineage. Gaiwan means lidded bowl, little lidded vessel, bowl in Chinese. It's very simple to make tea. So you can grab the top here so you don't burn your fingers, very hot. Then you could grab the lid and the bottom to pour into our pitcher here. Look how black that tea is. Very dark tea. Very hot water. You can see the steam coming out. Whoopsie. We spill a lot of tea. It's the abundance of the waters, the heavenly divine goddess. We have a very special, one of my queen's very special cups, clay cups. You can see the bubbles coming up. Another sign of abundance and cosmic awareness. Very powerful. The pu'er tea is some of the strongest medicine in the Taoist Buddhist arts of Chinese medicine. We say gong fu tea. Gong fu. Gong means work, effort. Fu is sacred arts. It means many things, but when we say Gong Fu, it's an art that takes many years to master. Our 10,000 hours. Wow, this is very strong, very powerful black tea, like the earth, the soils, divine feminine, divine goddess energies. Very purifying, detoxing, cleansing. So what we're going through is the divine goddess rises up, the Magdalenas, through the fire of the feminine, the Shakti, the passions of the heart. That's why time is art in this transition from time equal money to time equal art. Yes, grab yourself some tea. Let's get rolling. So one of the announcements I wanted to make today is for our Patreon team and our supporters. Our first healing session with my sacred Condor and myself, my queen, will be this coming Sunday. Let's see, Sunday, which will be the 31st. I have to look at the calendar. Yes, Sunday the 31st. We don't know what day it is anymore. This day at a time is becoming a life at a time. So this Friday, or what is it? Sunday the 31st at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So for our tribe on Patreon, we posted a link where you can put your name. We need your permission to be able to transmit the healing pranic energy, the ki. Ki, Ki in Japanese, chi in Chinese is universal life force or energy. So when we say qi gong, qi, either qi or chi in Chinese, there are two ways to spell most Chinese words, mean energy, they're vital life force, and qi gong mean energy work. So like Reiki, qi gong, pranic healing, we put all the arts together. I've trained over 30 years with many masters and teachers and have taught in dojos many arts, from Zen Buddhism to shamanism to Taoist arts, Hindu, all the traditions, the Western traditions, through the Christian esoteric teachings, the Judaic Christian from the East. We merged the East and the West together to create our own philosophy, our own lineage of the eagle and the condor. So my queen just finished up a very special, very sacred guided meditation for this healing. So be sure, if you're on Patreon, go to Patreon and put your name under our latest post, which will be titled Healing Session. And this will be done through the etheric. This is a remote distance healing. There's nothing you need to do. We just need your permission to be able to send you the Heros Gamos energies of divine union and the Reiki, the pranic energy, the pranic life force to you for healing, for balancing, harmonizing, and to assist you in your ascension process. So if you're on Patreon, we're going to do this all together. Now, if you sent a donation last month, which was June, we sent you an email, or you'll be getting an email in the next day or two with a link to the guided meditation, and just respond to that email, reply and say yes, you want to be included in this healing session, because in this free will universe we're not allowed to even send you the healing energies without your divine intent, your will, and your permission. That breaks the violations of the law of one, the one law. So we need your permission to do that. So on Patreon, put your name under our latest post and say yes, you want to be included. If you want a family, friend, or animal, put their name, if it's a person, and whatever their ailment is that they need healing, and we'll send that energy. But the thing is, you need their permission too. If it's an animal, obviously they're not going to give you permission, but if you do need healing for an animal, but if it's a friend, family member, please ask them before putting their name in there. So on Patreon, there's a post on, like I said, if you sent in a donation, we sent you an email, just reply to that email and say yes, you want to be included. This Sunday, it's the last day of the month, very powerful alignments, conjunctions, and very powerful portal will be opening this Sunday. So we're going to align with this energy, align with your higher self, and then transmit our highest love, our highest light of divine union, of the eagle condor come together, send the universal life force directly to you through your higher self and into your physical vessel through, and this is a balancing and healing the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and your astral body if need be. So we go in and direct it right to your infinite multi-dimensional self. So if, like I said, Patreon, put your name under the post. If you send in a donation, if you send a donation this month, we'll add you to next month. We'll send you email within the next few weeks on the next healing session, and then you can opt in through the email. Now, for YouTube members, we create a membership post and just put your name under that post, like in the comments, the comments below. So on Patreon, the comments below the post for the healing session, we put a link to the video there. We'll create a video just called Healing Guided Meditation on YouTube memberships. just put your name under there, and then in the email we'll put a link to the guided meditation, and then just reply to that and say yes with your name, because we don't have the names sometimes, or on YouTube. Please put your name if it's something obscure like higher self, or just put your real name. It could just be your first name. If you don't want to put your last name, that's okay. If you want to put your location too, that will help assist the energy that we guide towards you. But other than that, you can still have time if you sign up. For Patreon, $5 a month. I think YouTube membership, it's like $6.95 or something. And then any donation, doesn't matter if it's $1. We consider these all love donations to support our work and mission in this channel and all the work we do, and then ultimately towards our vision of our first healing wellness center, and then healing retreat center over time. Obviously, everything takes money and time to manifest into this realm. We're already working in the etherics, and we are going quantum. So it's in this now time. We're merging all these timelines through the dimensions and through all realms, timelines, dimensions into this now to create heaven on earth. So we thank you all for supporting us in this work and mission. We're very grateful for each and every one of you. We couldn't be doing this work without you, and many of you have supported us for many years, so we're very appreciative, and we do our best to serve you in the best, highest ways we can. And these healing sessions will be taking this work to the next level, and we'll be hopefully getting testimonials, and we've already worked with several people, and I've worked for many years with many people with everything from shiatsu to acupuncture, acupressure, Reiki, pranic healing, Tibetan emotional release. Like I said, I've trained with Buddhist masters, Taoists, trained in a temple, monastery, and then in the deserts, the mountain, trained in Mount Shasta and Sedona with the gold dragon lineage of Kunlun, and Mongolian shamans, and through the Ojibwe and the Lakota Sioux, the medicine way. So in shamanism, we have a saying, behind every powerful medicine man is an even more powerful medicine woman. And that's my sacred Condor, my queen, my Magdalene, my divine goddess, who is the power, the silence, the beauty, the purity of divine feminine energy, the divine mother, divine goddess, beautiful Magdalene, the Magdalene lineage of the rose, of every nation. Because through time, generally it was the male, the medicine man, that would go out into the community, into the people, and they're behind them, staying in hidden or secret for protection and many other things. Just like the Magdalene, we protect our family, our soul family, our divine counterparts. So we'll tell you a little story to add to the last tea time. I've touched briefly on some of my personal history, personal story about when we were taken from my father. There were 5 of us, 3 boys, 2 girls. I was youngest, 4. Like I said, we're all O negative. Our bloodline traced back through Davidian lineages, through the Ashkenazi, some of the original people of ancient civilization. Now this is way before Judaism, and even before Hebrew. See, if you really study history, if you want to know anything about history, read Anatoly Fomenko's books. He's cracked open many things, and it shows that, I think his books, he has like 10 different books on history, fact or fiction, saying that a lot of history they blend with with a lot of history with fiction and mythos and many things, and through languages they created their own timelines and calendars. Anatoly is like a national treasure. He's one of the greatest geniuses in this realm at this time, still alive. That he has a PhD in, I believe, mathematics and physics, and I'm sure he has an honorary doctorate in history too. Because a lot of the mathematicians, they were the creators of calendars, and he shows how our calendars are way off in dates and times. It's a very interesting story. So like 10 volumes that have been translated from Russian into English. So if you study linguistics, like I have over 30 years, you realize many things, you know, the manipulation of history and time and all this stuff. But the letter J, so people say Judaism, it's 2,000 years old. No, Judea, Jew, John, Joseph, Jesus. The letter J, if you study linguistics, is only about 400 or 500 years old. So when we say, like people say, 2,000 years ago there was a Jesus, John, Joseph, no. There's linguists, linguists and entomologists that are trying to reverse engineer language, because there's so many gaps in time and history that they're trying to reverse engineer language and culture and all this stuff, which it's guessing at best. So if we say Yeshua or Johann, Yosef, you know, because in the ancient Hebrew, and then we go back to Aramaic and Coptic and, you know, hieroglyphs, and into Sumeria with the cuneiform, and, you know, Chinese goes way back, and Sanskrit. When you start looking at all these pieces and the symbolism, just how, you know, culture, like Terence McKenna would say, culture is a fossilization of language. And it was always the shaman's job to go outside time and space to bring back new language, new words, to transform culture. And that's what we're doing. We're all earth shamans here that are going to our higher self outside space and time to bring in the new earth language, the light languages and symbolism and other words and meanings, to transform our culture and transform our perception and our awareness into that of the new Jerusalem. So the letter J, we see, if you study the ancient Greek, it was I. The I was converted to a J through time, and many of us historians and those that have studied history and language, linguistics, we believe right around the time that the Jesuits came into power that they are the culture, the people that converted that I to J. And Anatoly Fomenko goes into the explanation how the I became that, you know, the I, the dot with the line, became the curve with the dot, and that changed everything. That changed history, that changed time, changed many things, and created new ideologies and systems of control and many things like that. So we won't get into that now. That's a 10, 20, 30, 100-hour discussion. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of my ancestors. I come from a long lineage of warriors through many cultures, go back as far as the berserkers and other warriors of many tribes, and most recent is my grandfather, and he's one of the reasons why they try to take us out of this realm, my family. My grandfather Joseph Fry, my grandparents, on my mother's side, Fry, F-R-Y-E, he's on the Wall of Liberty in Washington, D.C., a great warrior who is Lieutenant Colonel of the Army Corps of Engineer and 33rd degree Mason. And not all Masons are bad, so let's get that straight. Just like not all Catholic priests hurt children. There's good and bad within every system, every culture, every cult. You know, a cult is short for culture. It's people that get together to practice a certain art, a certain philosophy. Now, you know, the dumbing down of society and the ignorance that's been projected. Of course, anytime you hear cult, they show you Charles Manson's face and his crazy eyes and the insane. So you hear cult, you think, oh, it's something bad. Not that I'm trying to start a cult. I've been accused of that over the years. But I joke with my people, with our people that I communicate with, that might have heard, like, you're starting a call. I said, I will start a cult. It'll be the cult of love, or the cult of personality, whatever. We're Heyoka. We don't take anything too seriously. As long as they're not hurting our people, our children, our women, and our angels of this earth. That's where we draw the line in the sand. So my grandfather, Joseph, my grandparents, Mary and Joseph, not the Mary and Joseph, but, you know, maybe in a different timeline. There's light workers working with my grandparents right now in the higher realms. My grandfather's working in logistics with the archangels, the archangelic realm. But I don't work directly with him for several reasons. So he was my grandparents, Mary and Joseph, Fry, F-R-Y-E, and before that, Evans, on my grandmother's, and then my grandfather's mother was we'll get into that another day. We're jumping timelines here, so we're gonna stay direct. Let me see here. Okay, getting close to the end here. I'm running out of time. I'm working on many projects at the same time. We're very busy here in these final missions. So my grandfather and grandparents were good friends with the Eisenhowers. My grandmother would Mary Fry, would have tea and crumpets, play bridge on Sundays with Mamie Eisenhower. My grandfather worked directly with General Eisenhower. That before Eisenhower was president, during World War II, the 40s, he was a general. So my grandfather worked directly with, he was a major in the Army Corps of Engineers. He worked directly with General Patton, General Eisenhower, Winston Churchill, and he was at Normandy. He was shot a couple times. There was many stories. He was in a hotel. They got hit with a bomb, like a German blitzkrieg or something, and the whole hotel ended up collapsing. He was able to get under a wooden bed, like an oak bed, and all his troops were killed, and he was the only survivor. They had to pull him out of the rubble, and that was very hard for him because his troops were like his children, his brothers in arms. So my grandfather's troops built the roads and bridges for Patton's tanks during World War II, and he was raised to lieutenant colonel after he was on his way to become general, but he was done after World War II. He stayed in France for 5 or 6 years after 1945, after the war, and helped rebuild France. He was a very powerful man, and then he got into banking and some other stuff, but that was all destroyed through the dark that was sent in to try and take my family down, my brothers and sisters and I, because they saw who we were coming into this realm, and they wanted to stop our mission. But as all of you know, many of you that came in as star seeds and blue rays, that we cannot be stopped. No matter what they do, every trauma, torture, everything they did to us, it just empowered us and opened up portals and opened up timelines, and you know. So try as they may, no, we don't stop until our mission is complete. And here's the thing. Here's a little secret before I go. Pay very close attention. God does not pick and choose. No matter what you've heard, no matter what people say. In other words, like, I like you, I don't like you. You're too big, you're too small. You don't worship this deity, you don't worship that deity. You come to heaven. No. This is unconditional love for all living beings. God is the still white magnetic light at the center of all things. Equal, omnipresent, omnipotent, everywhere, everything. God loves unconditionally, infinitely. Just like I do not pick and choose. The Holy Spirit works through my vessel and sends the life force out universally, equally to all sentient beings. It's like the Bodhisattva vows to not leave this matrix system, reincarnation system, until all sentient beings, all beings are free from suffering, free from the wheel of karma, the wheel of suffering. So that is what we came back as ascended masters into this realm to fulfill, this final mission, to end this wheel that consistently spins, the time loops, the wheel of karma, the wheel of suffering. We came to transform this realm. We didn't come to destroy it. Although if anyone believes, try to project fear into your mind of annihilation, apocalypse, blah, blah, blah. Apocalypse is the great unveiling, the revelation, revealing that which is hidden, that which is unknown. The ignorance, the illusion of this simulation. And my mission coming in here is to free all beings from the matrix, from Maya, from the illusion, into the truth, into what is real, your true nature, your Buddha consciousness, your full awakened consciousness, Christ consciousness, which is the love of the I Am. You see, Christ equals love. Antichrist is anyone. I know people, it's this person, that person. No, Antichrist means anyone, anything that hates love, that tries to destroy love. It's very simple. Let's not overcomplicate things here. The universe is very simple in its true nature and its primordial state of infinite light, infinite life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. I take refuge in Amitabha Buddha, Amida Buddha of the Pure Land of the West, of infinite light and infinite life. So I believe I'll end this here. So again, our Patreon people, go to that page and submit your name. On our latest post that says healing session, we'll have a video, healing session video on YouTube memberships, and then check your email. Be sure, if this was anyone that sent any donation through the month of June, anyone that sent one this month, next month we'll send you an invite to our next healing session. Again, this is going to be remote distance healing. The only thing you need to do is just be aware at 11:11 on August or July 31st. We're already jumping ahead a month here. We want to get through this Lionsgate portal 8/8 coming up. So 11:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, this Sunday, July 31st. Now you see why I try to record. I'm gonna leave all this in. It takes a lot of time to edit these videos, so I'm gonna leave these things in where I screw up, because no one's perfect here. Actually, everyone's perfect, just as they are, just as you are. All beings are born perfectly awakened Buddhas. Meaning from the very first, not a thing is. That's Mu, M-U, from the very first, before space and time. That is the great mystery. That is perfection, Buddha consciousness, Buddha nature, beyond all concepts, beyond all words. The fingers pointing to the moon of enlightenment, meaning I am that I am. There's nothing to attain because you already are a perfectly awakened Buddha. That's how you can hear these words now and take in this information and know truth when you hear it, the gnosis that's beyond words. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. My camera just told me I ran out of time. So we look forward to continuing to serve all of you into this transition into the new earth until we're no longer needed in this realm, which will hopefully is any day now, and we can return to our ship and to our 12th dimensional home on Venus. But it's been a very interesting journey, and we appreciate each and every one of you that have joined us on this journey and mission. And we know many of you, most of you watching this now, have suffered greatly, but it's all for a higher purpose and for the good, to end this game once and for all, this game of separation and suffering. So we look forward to our healing session, to our tribes and teams this Sunday, July 31st, 11/11, powerful portal on one of the most powerful conjunctions and celestial alignments in our lifetime, and possibly most lifetimes. So have a most beautiful and blessed day out of time. I hope to get this video out today, but might be tomorrow, next couple days. But either way, have a beautiful, blessed day out of time, and galactic new year of the red self-existing moon as the fire of the divine goddess, the feminine, rising from the solar aspect, from the deep soul. And as the yin and yang come together, the Heros Gamos, Shakti dance with Shiva, the eagle fly with the Condor. Keep walking gently your sacred path with heart, with peace and love in every step, and keep shining your light brightly into the night. The eagle and the Condor love you all. Namaste.